Thursday, May 14 is shaping up to be absolute chaos in Port Charles, and once I started connecting all the clues, the whole situation suddenly felt way more dangerous than anyone realizes. Because this isn't just about Brennan anymore. This is about Willow slowly losing control while Sidwell quietly manipulates everyone around him like pieces on a chessboard. And trust me, what happens next could destroy multiple lives at once. So here's where things get insane. After getting updated by Willow about the Brennan scandal, Sidwell appears ready to help her clean up the mess. But this is not the kind of help normal people offer. No, Sidwell allegedly agrees to provide the paralysis drug needed to keep Brennan silent. The same terrifying method already being used to trap Drew in a nightmare state between awareness and helplessness. That alone is disturbing. But then it gets worse, because I have a feeling Sidwell won't stop there. I think he may actually help Nina and Willow secretly imprison Brennan altogether. And if that happens, Brennan could end up transferred to Sidwell's castle and locked away permanently. Just imagine that for a second. A hidden prisoner, drugged, isolated, unable to escape, and possibly trapped somewhere near Jocelyn. That detail gave me chills because the implications are horrifying. If Brennan and Jocelyn are both being held under Sidwell's control, then this entire situation becomes something far darker than fans originally expected. At that point, Willow isn't just protecting herself anymore. She's actively participating in kidnapping and illegal confinement. And somehow, Sidwell still manages to push things even further because, according to these spoilers, Sidwell may start pressuring Willow to do something about Drew. And let's be honest, we all know what that probably means. Kill him. That's the ugly truth nobody wants to say out loud. Sidwell understands the biggest problem in this entire scheme. Drew cannot remain in that simulated paralysis state forever. Eventually he could recover. Eventually he could speak. Eventually the truth could explode across Port Charles and expose every single person involved. So in Sidwell's mind, there's only one permanent solution left, and Willow is starting to consider it. That's the part that shocked me most. Not because Willow is evil, but because desperation changes people. We already saw her panic after Drew managed to move his finger and secretly press his phone. For one terrifying moment, Drew almost contacted someone for help. He almost blew everything open, but Willow caught him in time. And I can already picture the scene playing out in the most intense way possible. Willow slapping Drew across the face, warning him not to ever try something like that again. Imagine Drew lying there, barely able to move, staring at Willow in complete disbelief as she realizes how dangerous he has become to her future. That is psychological horror. But somehow, while all this madness unfolds, another war is quietly brewing elsewhere in Port Charles. Because Isaiah is still under suspicion, and Curtis is clearly reaching his breaking point. Curtis believes justice for Jordan matters more than anything, and if Turner refuses to act, Curtis seems ready to take matters into his own hands. That means a brutal confrontation between Curtis and Isaiah feels inevitable now, and honestly, I don't think either man is backing down. Isaiah continues insisting he's innocent. He claims he did nothing wrong and wants the chance to clear his name. But there's one massive problem destroying his credibility. He still cannot explain where he was that night or why he appeared near the crime scene. That silence is killing him, because in Port Charles, unexplained coincidences never stay harmless for long. Every missing answer becomes suspicious. Every delay makes Isaiah look guiltier. And Curtis knows it. I think this confrontation could get explosive very quickly because Curtis is operating emotionally now, not rationally. He wants someone to pay Isaiah just happens to be standing directly in the line of fire. But wait, that's still not the end of the disaster unfolding this week. Because Chase and Brooke Lynn may be walking straight into heartbreak. At first, things actually seemed hopeful regarding their adoption plans for little Phoebe. Alexis, speaking as a lawyer, apparently believes Chase and Brooke Lynn have a very strong chance of succeeding. But then, one decision changes everything. Chase reaches out to Willow for help. Huge mistake. Alexis immediately realizes this could complicate the entire adoption process instead of helping it. And honestly, I completely understand why she's worried. Willow is already drowning in scandal, secrets, manipulation, and potential criminal activity. Anyone connected to her right now risks getting dragged into the chaos. Alexis wants Chase and Brooke Lynn to slow down and be more careful before officially filing anything. She wants the situation cleaner, safer, less messy, but it may already be too late. Because now there are predictions that Phoebe's biological father could suddenly arrive in town, and if that happens, everything collapses. All the planning, all the hope, all the emotional preparation Chase and Brooke Lynn invested into building a future with Phoebe could vanish overnight. That kind of twist would absolutely devastate them, especially after they allowed themselves to believe they were finally close to happiness. And somehow, in the middle of all this emotional destruction, Brit's storyline might actually be the saddest of all, because Brit is finally realizing she may have no path left. She wants to escape Cullum alongside Lucas. She wants freedom. She wants safety. But leaving Cullum behind also means giving up access to the medication, keeping her alive. That's the cruel reality she's facing. Without that treatment, Brit's condition could spiral out of control. The risk of death becomes terrifyingly real. And suddenly, Lucas finds himself trapped in an impossible situation. Save Brit emotionally or save her physically. So, what does Lucas allegedly consider doing? Stealing the medication from Sidwell's castle, which sounds almost suicidal because Sidwell and Cullum are already on high alert. Security is tighter. Suspicion is everywhere. One wrong move could expose Lucas instantly, and if Sidwell catches him snooping around, I genuinely fear Lucas may not walk out alive. But believe it or not, the final twist of this entire storyline may be the one nobody sees coming. Michael is reportedly hiring a private investigator to follow Chase and Willow specifically to uncover proof of an affair. And that changes the entire game. Because now there's surveillance involved, evidence gathering, secret tracking, hidden truths ready to explode at any moment. But here's the shocking part. Jacinda knows exactly what Michael is doing, and instead of stopping him, she secretly helps speed up the investigation. That detail feels incredibly suspicious to me. Why would Jacinda want the truth exposed faster? What does she gain from helping Michael destroy Willow and Chase? Is she protecting herself, setting someone up, or does she already know something far worse is hiding beneath the surface? That's the question I cannot stop thinking about, because once private investigators start digging around Port Charles, secrets never stay buried for long. If Michael uncovers even part of what Willow has been hiding, Brennan, Drew, Sidwell, the paralysis drugs, then this entire operation could implode overnight. And honestly, I don't think Willow is emotionally prepared for what happens when the walls finally close in. Right now, she still believes she can control the situation. She still believes she can silence people before the truth escapes. But every move she makes pulls her deeper into Sidwell's web. And I have this terrible feeling Sidwell already knows exactly how this ends. Not with Willow escaping, but with Willow taking the fall for everything. And if Drew wakes up before she makes her next move, The nightmare may only be beginning.